In this video, we unbox 2 new pieces of gear from Hercules. Find out what those are coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video. So the team over at Hercules sent me 2 of their latest controllers to check out and see what I thought about them. And those products just arrived, so let's take a look. So first up, we have what they're calling the Inpulse 300s. Now this controller is more of the normal form factor that you see on DJ controllers, with a jog wheel on it, as well as performance pads, unlike that P32 that I took a look at a couple weeks ago. So I'm really curious to see what the build quality is like on this and how it performs with the software, because just like the P32, this uses the DJControl software instead of some of the other major software. So I'm definitely going to check it out with DJControl again, see if this gives me better control over that software. And I'm also going to take a look at how this maps to other software such as Serato DJ Pro and Tractor Pro as well. So let's go ahead and start with the unboxing. Get this thing cracked open. All right, well, first off, wow, this is a really nice USB cable. It's a braided USB cable, so this is actually a lot nicer than you would find on pretty much all DJ controllers. They usually just give you a cheap, rubbery plastic cable. So props for sending something actually more quality that's gonna last a lot longer than the normal cheap OEM cables that you get. So that's a plus, definitely. So let's put that aside. And there isn't much else in this box except for the controller. Oh, wow. I like that they added the quick start guide to the box. Way to stay green and not waste paper on that. Yeah, pretty simple. Plug in the controller, go download DJControl and boot it up. And plug in your headphones and your speakers and you're good to go. Pretty simple. And yeah, just a nice little design detail in the box. So nice design detail there. Nice design detail there. Hercules is off to a good start with this. Now, this is the bigger brother to another controller they have called the Inpulse 200. And I wanted to take a look at this one because the Inpulse 200 looked more like a, really budgety bare bones controller, and this looked like it was gonna have more features. And since the controller I looked at last time was a little more budget friendly, I wanted to see what their higher end products look like. So take that out. Oh, it's bagged up. Here we go. All right. Get this out of the wrapping, put that to the side. Okay, first off, kind of light, feels sort of like a Pioneer DJ SB as far as weight's concerned. Form factor is a little bit bigger than the SB from what I remember, but pretty similar. It's still smaller than the SR sized controllers that you see out there, the mid tier controllers. Okay, pretty cool. One thing I like off the bat is the placement of the tempo fader. Having the tempo fader right here is more reminiscent and more similar to what you would find on a big size media player such as a CDJ or the Denon media players, the new Prime series. Because usually they put it up here, and I really don't understand that. It's the only place that you find a pitch fader up here is on the smaller, cheaper controllers. Why not put it down here where you're gonna see it on bigger gear and more expensive gear if you continue DJing and making the jump? So I like that design choice. It makes way more sense to me, especially if you're gonna wanna take DJing seriously. This makes so much more sense than up here. Now, these buttons, if you can hear it, they're pretty clicky. They're not like the MPC style pads you'd see on most controllers. Now, for a beginner DJ, that's not really gonna matter that much. they still seem pretty responsive. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna do some, you know, maybe light drumming or just like cue point tapping, and you're not gonna go crazy like I do on my 72. So that's not too bad. They are soft rubber though, which is nice. I actually like this feel. It's kind of reminiscent of some of the other controllers, like some of the add-on Serato DJ controllers. Sort of like how the older Novation Dicers had kind of like a click to them, but this is more of a distinct click. Now the start, stop, and cue buttons are hard plastic and clicky as well, so I like that. I like that there's a difference between the two. Let's see what else is on here. So you have your browse knob, of course. You have your load for each side. 3-band EQ. I'm guessing since it's dejuiced, it should be the same EQ since all in software. Gain control. Ooh, nice filter control for each side as well. And then up faders, crossfader. Up faders have a little bit more tension in them, like they should, than the crossfader. And then this deck section. So let's take a look at the deck section. You have some pretty simple effects controls, you know, on, off, one parameter knob, and then the wet, dry. And then what else do we have here? So we have looping controls, which is cool. So just in and out, and nothing too crazy. Slip mode, this cue button, not sure what that does yet. I'm sure we'll find out when I take a look at this in the software. And the really cool feature with this Impulse line, especially with the Impulse 300, is this new assistant right here. So this controller not only comes with that software, but it comes with these, if you see right here, there's little markers right here, and these are actually lights. So this will help tell you if, you know, when you're manually beat matching, if the beats are in line and actually beat match. So if you're off slightly, you can kind of use the jog wheel to nudge them back into place and get them locked in. Now, that's really cool, and that's really helpful for beginners, and it makes a lot of sense for a controller like this. You know, Hercules makes gear primarily, you know, aimed at newer DJs. So having a guide to help DJs not only audibly and in the software, but something on the hardware that helps assist them with learning how to DJ, you know, I'm not gonna say DJ right, but learning how to beat match manually with these light guides to tell you to nudge it either one way or the other. And then the tempo fader has those same notches right here as well. So let's take a closer look. So you can see it right here. It has those two lights, and then on the pitch fader to the side of the pitch fader, it has two of those lights as well. So if you're out of tempo, or you know the BPMs aren't the same, it'll tell you to go up or down depending on which way you need to go. And then once the BPMs are the same and you hit the cue point and start your mix, it'll tell you if you need to nudge it forward or backward to get it really locked in and dialed in. And just getting in the rhythm, especially when you're just learning, getting in the rhythm of learning, okay, I need to adjust the pitch first, then I need to go ahead and nudge, and then learning how to nudge which way, and just getting the hand, eye, and ear coordination to get it right. Having something visual on the controller is gonna help so much and get you off the ground and running and getting the DJ manually a lot quicker than just having to look at the software, and it'll stop, you know, that Serato face where you're just staring at your laptop trying to get this locked in. You can use the controller and be more interactive with the crowd, just focusing on this and then focusing on the crowd, which is awesome. So I've gone over the controls there. The front, as you can see, is pretty simple. Just the headphones. You have your headphone control right here, as well as picking your headphone cue and master. Now, one thing I don't see, just like on the P32, is there's no kind of blend knob that you see on a lot of controllers between the cue and the master. It's just on and off. So that's something, you know, you might have to get used to. Master volume knob pretty much covers everything here. And then on the back, pretty simple as well. Just RCA out. You have your USB input for your computer. And then there's one more port right here. Kind of looks like a MIDI port. It just says Hercules add-on it says reserved. So curious to see what that's gonna be about, what they're gonna add on to that. In my review, I'll go ahead and dive into the manual, see if they give any information on that. But overall, pretty cool build. The jog wheels aren't really that loose, pretty tight. But you know, for a beginner DJ that's not really gonna get into cutting, having them have a little bit more tension will give you a little bit more control when nudging and pitch bending and getting your mix locked in. So overall, pretty cool. I like it. I like the form factor. It's not too big, not too small, you know, can still carry this, and it's not too heavy, so it's really light, easy to throw in a bigger bag, this in your laptop, and you're pretty much ready to go. So can't wait to get my hands on it, and a full review coming soon. Now the second controller they sent me is the one that I'm really excited about, and that's this one right here. This is the new Hercules Starlight DJ controller, or DJControl Starlight. And this is actually a controller for Serato DJ Lite and Serato DJ Pro if you buy it. So again, this is Serato DJ Lite compatible and will be compatible with Serato DJ Pro if you purchase it. Serato goes ahead and gives this as a free software for, you know, more budget-friendly controllers, and if you want to upgrade and graduate to Serato DJ Pro, they give you that option, and you get a little bit more features in that software, all of the features. But this is kind of laid out for Serato DJ Lite. But for something in this form factor, pretty cool to get a pretty pro-level software. And if you're a beginner DJ, this is a good choice if you want to make the jump into the Serato ecosystem. Now this is more of the form factor of something like the Numark DJ to Go 2, which I see a lot of DJs picking up because it's so small, something they can throw in their bag. If they're on a flight, you know, they can take their laptop out while on the flight, pull out a small controller like this and actually mix and, you know, practice their mixes, maybe practice some different combinations, some mini sets, some routines. And this looks like it has some pretty good control, so let's get to opening. All right. Pull this guy out. Oh, here we go. So USB cable, and this one is a mini USB cable. So not micro USB like you would see on like a Android charger. This is the older, kind of bigger USB connection. But what I do like about mini USB is the fact that this is a little bit bigger of a connection, so it's probably gonna stay in the controller a little bit better. You don't have to worry about knocking it and the end breaking as much or as easily as micro USB, so that's a cool option. Now, here's the controller. Oh, it actually comes in upside down, which is kind of weird. So let's flip this over. Here we go. Cool. Let's get this tape unraveled. Okay, so I'll put the controller to the side for a second. And here we have warranty stuff and instructions on how to set this up and download Serato DJ Lite, which is cool. So pretty similar quick start guide, quick setup that we saw on the Inpulse 300. So now let's take a look at this guy. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm excited about. And I didn't talk about the reason why this is called the Starlight yet. And this clear bottom is actually a kind of an indicator of that. So besides being a controller in the form factor like the Numark DJ to Go 2, this actually has LED lights at the bottom that'll kind of bounce to the music. So you can have this on a table in your laptop and kind of get the party started and have lights at the bottom of it. I really hope that you can turn that on and off because if I'm on a plane where I'd probably be using this, I might not want the lights on, giving the guy or girl to the left or right of me a light show while I'm just practicing my mix on a red-eye flight somewhere. So hopefully you can turn that off. If not, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to kind of cover that up. But besides that, let's get to the controls. So again, here you have a crossfader. Oh, I kind of like the cap on this better. It's a little skinnier. The Inpulse and the P32 have like a fatter fader knob that I'm not too big a fan of, but this is nice. So we have 4 cue points on each side, and these are hard plastic buttons. All the buttons on this are hard plastic and pretty clicky, so it should be really responsive. And they actually, each of these performance pads, or each 4 of these performance pads have 4 modes. So you have hot cue, loop, FX, and sampler. So, I mean, that's covering a lot of the different features that you get in Serato DJ. So really cool that I can access all of that stuff and access a lot of the features that I would access on something like a mixer like this. Now, you're not gonna get the same control, but at least I can, get to some of them all from this controller. Now, what else do we have on here? We have headphone cue left and right, which is cool. And then we have right here, headphone volume. And then we have our master volume right here. Then we have, what else? Okay. So interesting. Instead of giving you an EQ, they give you a pretty smart choice in my opinion. So if you look right here, it actually says bass or filter, and right here there's a button. So you can switch between, you know, having this be the bass EQ or being a filter. And for most DJs, at least the DJs that I've played with over the years, a lot of times the most used EQ is gonna be that bass EQ or that low EQ where you're killing, you know, the bass or kick drum out of one song and blending into the other one. So pretty smart. You're getting not only that EQ, but a nice dual pole filter that you see in Serato DJ, you know, the high pass, low pass. And then right here, instead of volume faders, you get volume knobs. So good way to save space. And what else? So we have little mini jog wheels, pretty cute. And the tension's pretty nice. Feels similar to the tension on that Inpulse 300, but maybe a little bit easier to move just because of the size. And then actually this is a nicely sized pitch fader. This is actually really similar to the size of the pitch fader that you would see on something like the Pioneer DDJ SR2. So nice, good job on that. This seems like it might be bigger than or longer I should say, than the pitch fader on the Numark DJ2Go 2. I have to take a look at that controller again. I'm kind of blanking out on the size of it, but overall, you know, great size pitch fader, especially for the size of this controller. Now, what else do we have on here? So we have shift functions right here and a vinyl mode. So you can, you know, turn vinyl mode on and get scratch control on the top of the platter, or turn it off and just be able to pitch bend using the top and the side. And then we have shift functions right here, a shift button. So this button right here, okay, I was curious about that. I didn't see a button for it. You do get master cue control, so you don't have to worry about you know, having to hit that in the software somewhere. Actually, I don't think Serato DJ has a master cue button in the software. So being able to listen to your mix with just the headphone out, awesome option. What else? We have Q plus mix. Not sure what that one is over on this side. And then I already talked about the other two modes right here. And then we have sync on and off, restart the track using the shift, as well as a stutter. So I wonder if it's like, you know, holding down the cue point and scratch live. I know a lot of DJs like that feature back in the day. So curious to see how that functions. And then as far as inputs and outputs, on the left side, we have USB mini input, 1/8 inch master output. And then on this side, we have an 1/8 inch headphone output. So really basically everything you would need to just take this on the go and use it either to practice, or even if you just want to pull up to a small party and you just keep this in your bag, you can, you know, start DJing instead of just playing iTunes or something. So really happy with this. I like the size a lot. You know, it's pretty similar to the size of a 13-inch MacBook as far as like the length is concerned. It's not too thick. You know, it's still pretty slim. I think this is a little bit taller than the DJ2Go 2. Nice rubber feet on the bottom, so it's not gonna slip around on you. And I like the controls on this. Like I mentioned, crossfader feels pretty good. I love the length of these pitch faders. And the jog wheels are a pretty decent size and decent feel. So definitely gonna plug this in and get to work. I have some travel lined up, so I'm definitely taking this with me and practicing while I'm on the go to get some mix practice in. So I'll have a review of this unit as well coming up. So again, that's my unboxing of these two latest DJ controllers from Hercules. We have the Inpulse 300 on this side and the DJControl Starlight on this side. Again, this one's for Dejuiced, the software that Hercules makes and produces natively, but I'm sure you can MIDI map this to another software. And then this one is natively supported for Serato DJ Lite and Serato DJ Pro. I'm probably gonna be using this one more especially because of the size and the ability to travel with it and get them practicing wherever I am. But this is really interesting as well. I like this because it's another, you know, nice budget beginner option, and just the light guides and being able to have something to help teach you to DJ, especially if you're just starting out, is pretty awesome. So like I mentioned earlier, I'll have full reviews of both of these units coming soon after I get some time to play with them. But this is just my unboxing, my first look at both of these controllers. Pretty cool. Each of them have their own kind of, you know, pluses and minuses, especially as a beginner DJ. I can see that Impulse being a really cool option for beginner DJs, and I can see this guy right here being useful for not only beginner DJs, but DJs that travel a lot and need to practice on the go and don't want to have to take around a bigger controller like that. So thanks for checking out the video. I hope you found this unboxing helpful. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click right here to subscribe to this channel. Or if you'd like to watch more content, go ahead and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.